Hi everyone, welcome to our Sunday night crafting. I'm just going to wait until I see some coming on. So if you're there, say hello. I can see that there's 2 people there, so I'm just going to flip you around. Cancel. Did it again. Hi Rochelle. I just about cancelled the whole thing. That was really terrible. Okay, sorry about my hand and the camera as well. That was really bad. So I hope you've had a really nice weekend. My gosh, hasn't the weather been amazing? Especially yesterday. Yesterday's weather was incredible, and the sun was so warm if you managed to get out into it. We've had a bit of a lazy weekend. Matt did some gardening, and I didn't do much yesterday. And I did some cards today and a bit of vacuuming, and then that's about it, and watched some TV. So it's been a pretty lazy kind of week. It was a bit full on last week with meetings, so I tried to do as little as possible. I think that is Heidi. It is Heidi. Hi, Heidi. All right, so our card tonight, I thought, is actually just quite simple. Oh, have you got feedback, Heather? Is that better? Let me know if that's better, Heather. Hopefully it's just that I was sitting too close to the PowerPoint. Anyone else having feedback? All right, well, if it doesn't get any better, Heather, let me know. I'm going to pop it on the stand now and see how we go. Too close. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll pop it over and we will get started anyway. All right, so this is, maybe if I move this over a little bit, then it won't be so bad, maybe. Is that okay? It's a bit dark now, isn't it? Oh, no, put it back where it was. Kelley, leave it alone. Is that any better, Heather? Can you let me know if that's got any better? This live video is moderated. I wonder why it's being moderated. All right, so this is our card tonight, and I've done it just to be a little bit different. We've gone up like that. Normally, I just cut my cardstock straight in half and just use the standard fold over. So tonight, I decided to, actually, the first time I did the card, it was like that. And then I didn't like it, so I pulled it apart and then reused parts of it and then created this card. So excuse me, this is our vellum. So we're using, it's kind of like, it's a thickness of a heavy card, but it's opaque. We also sell coloured vellum in this catalogue, which matches some of the new in colours and is really, really pretty. Let me find that for you, because it is super pretty. One side is really shimmery, and the other side is a matte finish. And it's on this one here. So, I don't want to accidentally turn my computer off. So this one here, so you've got the Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. Hi, Andrea. Nice to have you here. So there you can see, yeah, they've got kind of a metallic-y finish on one side. The other side is a matte finish colour, the same colour. So, but it's about the same thickness as this. So you would still get some kind of you're still able to look through it. What's really nice with that stuff, the other coloured vellum, which I don't actually have, but I've used a piece at a retreat that I was on, and if you emboss it with an embossing folder on the shimmery side, you get like a really cool effect, and then if you do it on the other side, you get a different effect. So it kind of whites out in parts of it, so you get a two-tone look, whereas the shimmery one, it just sort of stays the same. So we're going to do some heat embossing on our vellum tonight, and then we've just got some, I've just used basic white, and then I've got, that is Coastal Cabana, I think that's Coastal Cabana. yeah, so yeah, it's lighter than Bermuda Bay. So that one, I've just got a piece of that just to kind of lift it. And then I wanted my sentiment to stand out but not be really stark on the vellum. So I've actually stamped it behind on the cardstock and then put the vellum over the top just to soften it a little bit and have the embossing on the front as the hero. Okay, so let me put that to the side. We'll start off with our base. Like I said before, I've just got a piece of basic white. We're just going to fold that in half so that it folds. And I can't see it, sorry, so I'm just moving it out of the camera there. Well, something I did do yesterday was a little bit of shopping at Kmart online, obviously, for, you know, those of us still stuck in level 4, which, by the way, I don't mind. But I did a little bit of shopping and I found a really, which I hope is going to be better, a better tripod to do this. So it will make it a little bit easier. It won't be so, maybe if I go over that way a bit, it won't be so jumpy, hopefully. And I might be able to get it at a better distance from the cardstock. Okay, so all we're going to do is take this piece of cardstock. Now, if you want to glue it down before you stamp it, you can. That's entirely up to you. I'm going to place it on my card, and it looks a little bit kind of wonky from where you are probably because I tend to write like this and I tend to stamp like this, just so that I can get it straight. Because what I want to happen is I want my card. Whoops, wrong one out that way. I want my card to have the angled effect when it's finished, so that then, I don't know if you could see, if you saw that, but there's exposed, little tiny bits of exposed of the actual colour of the card, and then it's a bit more muted where the vellum is. So I want it on an angle so I can do that. But I'd still like my stamp to be straight. So what I've done is I just pop that on. I mean, if you've got post-it notes or paper clips, actually paper clip, got one of those. Paper clip that on where you want it. Oops. So that it doesn't move. All right, and then just line it back up again. Line it up a little bit higher. All right, I would like to have one corner touching the edge as much as I can. And then we're just going to stamp directly onto it like that. So I've got a stamp from, this one's called In Your Words. It's one of the Celebration Host stamp sets, but I really love this. Usually when I get these, there's some that I use maybe in classes, but I tend to give them away. But because of that, and this one here, I'm actually probably going to keep it. And even this Happy Birthday is quite a nice one. I do like this as well. I don't know if you can see it. It says, perhaps the stars are openings where our loved ones shine down and let us know that they are happy. In recent times, that's been kind of something that has helped with some people that passed, or even just ones that passed a long time ago, but just kind of that realization that they're up there looking down on us and okay about being up there. So, okay, so even though my card stock is crooked, I'm going to actually try and line it up with the white, but on there. So it looks like it's, so you're essentially stamping, you're lining it up with the edge of your base, not the edge of the card that you're using. All right, now hopefully that works. Okay, you're still getting some feedback here. So it does look a little bit wonky, but that's because your card, you know, it's kind of a bit freaky for your eye. So I've just used Memento Black on that. That's my go-to for sentiments and stuff like that. So I can now take off my paper clip, and I'm actually now, that's all we're going to do to that piece, is I'm going to glue it down so that I don't need to worry about my glue. We'll worry about putting everything together, and then this is still not stuck down. Oopsie. Make sure we have it going the right way. Okay, here we go. So when I look at it now, my sentiment looks straight. Possibly not, it might be my eyes, but it's not kind of skew. Whereas if I'd done it straight with the matting card, when we put it together and put it on an angle, the sentiment would look like it was on an angle as well. Okay, so now we're going to do our vellum, and I'm wanting my vellum to go on an angle like that. So I wanted to make sure also that my sentiment, which I should have checked before I glued it down, but my sentiment was covered by the vellum, just like it is on this one, so that it kind of mutes it a little bit. All right, so let's just put that to the side. Heat embossing, I've got, which we don't sell anymore, which is very depressing. This is what's called an embossing buddy. It's basically a little bag of powder, and I think you can actually, doesn't tell you what's in it. I think a lot of craft shops will have something similar, and I have seen people like on YouTube have recipes and make up a little. You just need a little cotton bag to put it in. It just helps to stop. I just grabbed my fingers over the top of it. It just helps to stop any of the oils from your fingers being on top of the vellum. Hopefully you can see that. I've got the coloured paper instead of the white, because I thought it might be easier for you to see, but I don't know if it is. All right, so I'm using this set here, which I haven't used for a really long time. Painted Poppies, actually, probably not since it came out. I've chosen these two and one of the leaves that I'm going to stamp with tonight. So I'm starting out with the big one, and you just stamp your vellum with your, what's that called, Versamark. Right, and I'm kind of wanting it to be in the top half, and I want two of the big flowers, so I'm just going to pop that. I'm working with these two petals that are curled in being on the outside, so I'm going to put one up about there, press down to get a really good image, and then I'm going to turn my stamp so that on this side it's down a little bit. And I don't know if you can see that, but in parts of the layer you can see it. So you can just kind of line it up how you want it there. Right, a nice image there. And then I've got the smaller one, which I'm just going to pop kind of lodged in. Actually, I wonder if I might pop it so that it's coming out underneath them. So just like that. I don't know if you can see that. I'll lift it up. You can see. And the Versamark stays wet for quite some time, although you don't want to wait too long to put your embossing powder on. But it is still possible to. Right. Where am I going to put the other leaf? I might put the other one up here again. Two out the top there. Okay, so once you've got your image, then we're going to use our white embossing powder. Now I keep mine in a container because I find otherwise I end up with a big mess everywhere. So then I can just slide my embossing powder in. Aha, she says. I can just slide it in and then it doesn't do anything. And then tip it over so that it gets coverage all over. And then you just turn it over, flick off any excess that you don't want. And then what I tend to do is, with the vellum it's a bit easier to see it, is go around, and before heat embossing I've just got I need to get some new paintbrushes, but that's just the line from my leaf, so I'm just going to get rid of that and blow it away. It actually doesn't matter, doesn't worry me too much if it's there, but just makes it a little bit more finished. And then these bits here I've pressed too hard with as well, so on the stamp when I've stamped the Versamark, so I'll just get rid of that as well as much as I can. A paintbrush would be better. That'll do. Adds a bit of interest. Okay, so I'll pop my, so that's what it'll look like before you start heat embossing. Okay, and then I will emboss. I will heat it over here because otherwise it's really loud. Do you leave the dust on the surface? Rochelle, that when you put the embossing powder in, it will just stick to the ink that you've made, that you've stamped on there, and then the rest of it should fall away. So the bits that I got that I didn't want, I do try to brush them off, but everything else you leave on there because that's going to create your raised image. So I will do the majority of it away from the camera just so it's not so loud in your ears, and then I'll bring it in just for the last couple of bits so that you can see it. Sorry about the noise. It's actually going quite quickly, so I'll bring it in so that you can see. I don't know if you can see the colour change. It's gone from quite a dull white to quite a bright white, and that's how you know that it's done. One little note to remember, that when you even if you're just using the little pots from that you've got your embossing powder in, make sure you move those away from the project that you're embossing, because this heat tool is really quite hot, and it would start to melt your container. All right, so then you see those little white spots that they've actually then just created like little dust or something. Could be pollen as well. If you have would look just as cool on using colour, like we have white, black, clear, and then we also do it doesn't affect the stamping if there's some... Oh, no. It actually is better, Rochelle, if that anti-static. There won't be a lot left on there. It just kind of gives it a little dust layer, and then you stamp your Versamark on, and it doesn't make any difference. Hi, Alison. How'd you go on your quiz? Did you win? Now my sheet's got dust on it. So, which is from the embossing powder is very fine, so I'll just move that out of the way. Sorry about that. All right, so the only downside to Vellum is that when you put adhesive on it, you can see it through the other side. Okay, so what I've done with this one is I've used glue dots. Now, these are great. I use these mainly for ribbon or little tiny things, but they're just like little blobs of glue, double-sided kind of little bits. So I use these for my Vellum because they're less intrusive. I don't know if you can see, there's kind of one there that from when I pulled it off before, but you have to look really closely. And then what I did to hide them is generally I will put them somewhere that I can put some ribbon or a sentiment or something over. But what I've done here is just where I've put my glue dots, I've actually just put my pearls. So they kind of distract you. So putting this upside down, you'll see it's kind of a bit matte on that side, which is the back, and then this side is the embossing itself is shiny. So we're going to turn it over. I like to use the take your pick tool for this, but you could use your scissors. You could also just lift your project onto the roll and pick it up. But generally, it's quite easy just to pick it up from here. If I'm using ribbon, I will put it directly onto the roll. But if now it's being difficult. So I've got 3 glue dots on the back of the center parts of my flower because they are the thickest parts and they're easy to hide it. You could roll one. So if you just grab it and fold it over, it will just make it into kind of like a little thin, camera can't focus, little thin bit. So I could pop that there on the leaf bit so that when I look through the other side you don't really see it. Okay. You know, it's quite surprising because generally speaking I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and it's taken a lot of work to get that out of myself. But you know, when I look at that and there's these little bits in here, I just kind of think, oh, it actually just adds character and shows that it's not a mass-produced card. But I do need to do something with my non-mass-produced cards because I've got quite a stash now. So if anyone's got a birthday coming up and they'd like a card, let me know. PM me your address and I'll send you a birthday card because I have heaps. Also, if anyone's watching and not making cards, into making cards, and they'd like to buy some, let me know. Oh, you come 5th. That's good, Alison. How many of you play each week? That's quite cool that you do that. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to offset this the opposite direction to my cardstock so that you get a little bit of the Coastal Cabana around the edges, and then you get a little bit of the vellum around the edges. I also want to make sure that, oops, I might do it this way actually. I want to make sure that the edge of my vellum is past my sentiment. So just kind of pop that on, make sure it fits inside all of your edges. Now, I don't know if you could see, but I popped my glue dots. There's one there, and there's one there, one there, and one there. And so I popped them in a bit from the edge, just so that it didn't strap it down and create a bulge where it was going over that second layer onto the first layer. So it pulled the card. One thing you'll notice is that when you heat emboss the vellum, and actually any of our card, the heat, because it happened on my paper mat here, the paper kind of constricts, so it kind of gets a little bit ruffled, which is another reason that using the glue dots is really helpful, or dimensionals, because then you're not trying to get a piece of paper that's not flat anymore to be flattened. All right, so now I'm just going to pop some pearls on and put my pokey thing away so I don't stab myself with it. So let's just go cover up these glue dots. That one's not as obvious. I might just put it down there. Might get a bigger one for the bottom. Then I might put some little ones in the middle. Whoa. Roll up. Just like that. Another one there. That's not 3, 4. Let's put one there. Okay, so that's that. I also said that I would show you what to do if you didn't have heat embossing, and what it would look like without having that and still having the same effect of the card. So I've got another one that I'll just quickly show you, so that if you want to have a go with the vellum and you don't have heat embossing, then you can still make the card and it still looks really effective. So we're not actually going to do too much with our vellum. We're just going to pop that over to the side a bit. We're going to do everything on our matting piece here, and I'm just going to start with the black. You could do tone on tone, which means using the same colour ink as on the... actually, should we give that a go? There were 12. That's good. 5th out of 12. That's really awesome, Alison. All right. So let me move that out my way. So I've got my Coastal Cabana, and I'm just going to get my stamps that I used before. Now, I've got bits in there, so I just have to make sure that I don't stamp too hard to get it. Otherwise, I mean, it's just going to create more interest, isn't it, like we said before. So nice, flat, even pressure through the middle of the stamp, and then another one. It's not going to show up the same as what it would with heat embossing, but you can still get a really cool effect with the vellum. No, I like it this way actually, having it like that, and then pop a couple of leaves in. Like so, and then I might stick with the black for my sentiment down the bottom. Oh, hang on, let's stamp that off a bit. I'm going to double side it for you so you can see what it looks like with both. Now remember, we were going to be off centering that a little bit, so I bring my card in, get that lined up. And then stamp straight with the white. Okay, so that's what it looks like tone on tone. And then you would glue that down, and then you would just pop your vellum over the top, and it just softens the whole look of it. So it's still an effective card, and it's still... you can still see the image, and it just kind of softens it. Now, if I was to turn this over, whoops, and do black, I'm just putting my stamp pad away so I don't put my hand in it, because I'm really good at that. And I think my wrong one. I think my memento needs a bit of love and re-inking. Right there. Whoops, pressed too hard and got Coastal Cabana. There, and again. Funny how I didn't do it when I was actually stamping with Coastal Cabana. I managed to not do it. Right, so then I've got this one in here. And I'm going to pop one of my leaves out there, another one over there, and let's put another one down the bottom. You just do it how you like. Oops, I've got an edge on it. So just like that, we might be putting pearls on those. We'll see how that looks in the vellum. And then again with our sentiment, I mean, you could definitely keep it straight. If you don't like that offset look, you could definitely keep it straight. I think it just adds a little bit of something different. I tend to always kind of go straight, so sometimes going off center actually makes things a little bit easier. I'll get rid of my stamp. Okay, so that's our stamping. So then you would put your vellum over the top like that. So you can put your card on. Sorry, I'll move it up. Card on like that. Making sure I'm not missing any comments. Nope. And then you would put your vellum over the top like so. Alright, and then I would put pearls in there or other gems. So you get that softer, I suppose, grayed out kind of look really with it in black. And then if you were to swap it out and do it with the Coastal Cabana, then it's just softer again. So, you know, lots of options using the vellum. If you don't have, I think I might go the black. Just stands out just a little bit more. Yeah, so if you don't have embossing powder and a heat tool, which if you don't have a heat tool, I've done it with a toaster. You just can't do it with a hairdryer. It's not hot enough. But you can do it with a toaster. So that's the other option for you. Let's put that together with some glue dots and some glue. My lovely brother made some more holders for my glue this weekend for me, so I've got lots of different colours. So I have got some spare ones if anyone is after one. These ones he's got the good stuff, so they're $10, not $5 like the ones that were there last time. They were kind of seconds. He was having a bit of an issue with his machine. Alright, so I have those people that ordered the other ones, I have got them, got your name on them. So don't panic, they are there. Alright, so I'm just putting some glue dots on. Actually, I might put them, don't know how well that's going to work, but didn't work very well because it came off with my finger. Put one there, and then again. Trying not to press too hard with it, and it's just pulling it off. I'll go back to sticking it on the vellum. Now it's probably made a mess of it. So otherwise you can just press it on like that and it comes off. Alright. So just kind of make sure that you've got it all over in each corner so that you get a nice kind of consistent coverage and one side doesn't start flapping off. And I wrote my list of people for the cards from Wednesday and I left it in the lounge. Pretty sure I can remember. So I haven't got my wheel ready, ladies. Sorry about that. So that is our 3 cards that we made today. Well, the 2 different cards, 2 different ways of doing it that you can have a go at doing. Thanks, Rochelle. Okay, I will very quickly, because there were 6 of you that made cards this week. Thank you. It was awesome. Yeah, you just used your toaster? Yeah. I remember going to a craft show years ago, way before I started doing Stampin' Out, actually way before even my husband, so that was a good 20 years ago. And that was one of the things that they told us was to hold it over the toaster. You just got to be careful that you don't burn your fingers, more so with the toaster, so use some tongs and hold it over. I'd probably recommend putting some toast in there as well, or some bread in there, so that you don't burn your toaster out. And so, not Debs. So I had Debs, Heather, Andrea, Sandra, Alison, And one more. Who was it? Who was it? Who was it? If you're there watching, let me know so I can put your name in. Rochelle, it was you. It was you. That was the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. All right, I'm going to flip you around and we can, oopsie. Oh, yeah, that's right. I have, no. Yeah, there we go. Flip me around and try and get you on the monitor without too much feedback. So thank you very much. 6 people. That was awesome. And they were all beautiful and they were all different. So it's so exciting when people post their cards up. And it's even more amazing when other people go and comment on it. It's just so awesome. I'm loving seeing everyone do these cards. So without further ado, good luck, everybody. And here we go. Well, that didn't spin for very long. Rochelle! Yay! Yay, yay, yay. That's awesome. Thank you for posting your card. And then look at that. You won. Very awesome. I'll get in touch with you for organising a prize for you shortly. Andrea, I haven't forgotten about you either. I have got some, it took like 3 weeks to get a parcel. I've got some bits and pieces, so I'll send you some photos and I'll also let you know what I'm waiting on so that if there is something good but feedback. Okay. I must be, I'm by the speaker, so maybe that's what it is, Heather, sorry. Yeah, so I'll get in touch with you, Rochelle, and let you know what I've got here. There might be something that you want that I've got that's been delivered. Otherwise, I've got a couple of things that I'm waiting on and some orders, but it's taking ages for them to get here. I don't know whether they leave the Stampin' Up distribution centre quickly, but the couriers are obviously very overworked at the moment. So I will get to you for your prizes. Ain't that the truth, Andrea? Some days more than others, eh? And then you're a parent as well. You have kids, you've got to be even more patient. So thank you, Alison. I'm glad you could make it at the end there. And, you'll also be able to rewatch very shortly when it gets posted up there. So congratulations to Rochelle. And thank you, everybody, for posting your cards up and sharing your crafting and sharing my enjoyment of crafting. Hopefully you're enjoying what we're doing. I'm on the lookout for some new things to do, and I'm thinking at the moment, while we're in level 4 going hopefully into level 3, that we will do Wednesday and Sunday at 7:30 at the moment. So we'll see how it goes. On Wednesdays when we're back to level 2, my daughter has dancing, so we'll have to find another day. But we will sort that out. I've kept you longer than I had planned to, so sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed that quick card. If you are keen to give it a go, I'd love to see what you do. I will take a picture of those cards that we've just done and I'll pin them to the top of the page, and you can add your pictures underneath. That would be amazing. And then on Wednesday I will draw the cards from that for a prize. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. I'm going to go and get a coffee and some yummy Afghans that got delivered today for a treat, and finish some schoolwork before tomorrow. Oh, yay, you're going to make another card, Rochelle. That's awesome. I saw you put another order in today too. That some exciting stuff coming your way. You got some nice sets in there. All right, take care, everybody. If I can help you with anything, please let me know. If you need any supplies and you don't have a demonstrator, please get in touch with me. I'm happy to send out some catalogues, or I can help you do an online order if you would like to do that too. But otherwise, stay well, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.